Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here with Eric from Quantum. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity. It's kind of a bummer we can't be in Las Vegas this week, but Quantum is actually, we've scheduled and we're hosting our own kind of virtual NAB event, which is taking place in a couple weeks. And so we will be talking about some of the things we were planning to talk about this week in Las Vegas. Last year at NAB, we introduced our F-Series, a line of NVMe storage servers, and we've been really pleased with the adoption of that. It's won a number of awards. Many of our customers are using that now. And one of the things we would have been talking about this week is we just introduced a new kind of an entry-level version of an NVMe storage server, the Quantum F1000. That started shipping last quarter. And we think that for even smaller post houses, maybe smaller studios that are doing a lot of work with high-res content, especially at high frame rates, maybe different animation houses that are doing a lot of rendering, the strength of NVMe will really can really speed those processes up and help accelerate workflows. So I think that's one of the things we're excited about with the F1000 is being able to bring that value down to kind of a smaller post houses and studios. So that was one of the things for sure. And then just obviously in general, the progress and the new things we're bringing to market around StorNext. And a lot of what we've accelerated and are focused on now is actually around hybrid cloud workflows and even remote production, which I know is one of the things that's just super topical right now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So people have been forced to work remotely and figure out different ways of doing that. So how have you been working with partners to make that solution a little bit more smooth for people?
Yeah, it's been an interesting time. And I mean, we've pivoted to kind of having virtual events, both for customers and partners. And, you know, first and foremost, just as I've been talking to customers out there and partners, I know it's been a very difficult transition. I know many of them are hurting. And so we're trying to do whatever we can to help. I mean, I think first and foremost, I'd reiterate that. We've had to kind of learn too. I mean, we've been spending a lot of time talking with customers and partners because the situation's developing very quickly. I think that many of our customers have kind of they've kind of moved past crisis mode, and they're starting to actually do a lot of their workflows remotely, which has been very interesting. What we're helping to do with our partners is, in order to enable remote production, what we're starting to see as kind of the best blueprint for that is for customers to use remote desktop technologies. And one of the companies that's been a partner of ours is Teradici. And there's a couple of other different software packages out there that enable that remote desktop. We've actually also been working with our reseller partners very recently, and many of them are offering services to help get customers set up to do that. So they're actually helping to deploy that. For us, there's a couple different ways it plays out from a StorNext perspective. Initially, I think the market was kind of associating COVID with it was going to just be this acceleration of a move to everything going to the cloud. And we're seeing that some workloads are moving to the cloud. I think that's been a trend for a while. But I think our current perspective is that, you know, to start to just do all production out of the cloud, companies still have this issue of getting their big data, all their content up to the cloud, and that's not trivial. So many of our customers are actually able to work with their StorNext infrastructure that they have in place, either at the post house or at the studio, and then use that remote desktoping technology to effectively remote desktop into their workstation. It's been interesting. Some companies have adapted different types of workflows for specific tasks like coloring and finishing, where the network latencies don't allow them to do that job effectively. They actually have set up schedules where they can the colorists actually go to the studio, pick up the work, bring it home with a, portable, shuttle drive or desk hard drive, and then send the completed project files back to the StorNext, infrastructure at the post house where it's then rendered and finished. But by and large, I think it's been very cool. I mean, companies are figuring out how to do this. And I think it will change workflows forever. And I think because companies have proven this, I think we're going to enter a new era in terms of just remote production, which is in many ways could have a lot of long-term benefits for the industry, I think.
Absolutely. And Movie Labs came out with their white paper back in, I think, August, and they were talking about how the industry is going to go to the cloud by 2030. I think that that's been accelerated a bit due to the crisis.
I think it has. And I was on I went to the Hollywood Professional Association conference and spoke on a panel regarding Movie Labs vision. And one of the things we also would have been talking about at NAB, and we are talking about this at our virtual NAB event, which again starts on May 12th. I think that the cloud has kind of moved from, it has been viewed, I think, primarily as an archival, as a place to archive content. We've had that integration with StorNext for many years. So many customers that will do their work in process portion of their workflow and then archive it to the cloud. Now we're starting to see, even before COVID, the cloud is becoming a part of the post-production process. Companies would use the cloud for rendering or for transcoding. And I know I've spoken with a few customers already of ours that have stood up, for example, an Avid workload in the cloud as a temporary measure to react to COVID. So I think we will see some innovation in that area. And one of the things we've done with our StorNext roadmap that we'll be talking about is the latest features in the upcoming version of our StorNext software that'll be coming out later this quarter. We've actually done some things to make it a lot easier to access content that's been moved to the cloud. So StorNext for many years has been able to, it's been integrated with cloud storage services like S3, Azure Block Blob, Google Cloud. And now what we're doing is where companies want to either access that content without going through the local StorNext instance, or if they even want to run, I would say, cloud native processes and services on that, we're now enabling them to do that. So that's kind of our roadmap direction. And I think that that will be an area that we're investing in quite a bit, and also just really trying to work hand in hand with our customers and partners to develop that. So
makes sense. And you guys, so you're going to be doing your online event May 12th, you said?
Yeah, May 12th through the 14th. We've had a number of folks register already. We're doing, for us, NAB was a critically important show for two reasons. One, we get to showcase our new technology at the booth and everything, but more importantly, we spent 4 days meeting with all of our biggest customers and all of our customers, really. And we're doing both things this year. We're just doing it virtually. So we have 3 full days where we're just meeting with our customers and listening to them and working hand in hand with them to develop our roadmap. And then we're also doing a series of virtual sessions talking about the latest features of StorNext. We actually are doing a joint webinar with one of our partners to talk about enabling effective remote production. We're doing a webinar on our NVMe product line and talking about the new F1000. I think as things start to get back to normal and as companies are finding that they can still produce content, we do think that there will be a good value of NVMe, both in terms of just accelerating render speeds and different aspects of the workflow and some of those things. So yeah, we'll be talking about all that that week, and try to do it as much as we can virtually. It's kind of a bummer not to go out and see customers in person, but doing what we can.
One day we'll get back there. Mm-hmm. Eric, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And maybe we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much. And thanks for the opportunity, Randy.
Sure, of course.